My video today will be on finding the y-coordinate of a quadratic equation. Now to get started, we need to know our equation, which is y is less than or equal to x squared plus 8x plus 16. Now, since we already know that, we know we're using the quadratic formula. We need to know our a's, b's, and c's, especially for our CTOs. X always equals 1, which is why our a is going to equal 1, b is going to equal 8, c will equal 16. And c is always the y-intercept, so knowing that, our y-intercept will be 16. And from there, we can find the vertex right at the start because we know that the formula, negative b over 2a, equals the vertex, so we can just plug in what we know from our CTOs into the equation, which will make negative 8 over 2 times 1. Once you explain the answer for that, you will get negative 4. So we can write down the CTOs right there. And now, onto the actual equation itself, we're going to plug in the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now, we plug in what we know from our CTOs right here, which will give us x equals negative 8 to the square root of 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times 16 over 2 times 1. From there, we're going to solve what's inside of the discriminant. And since we're going to know our pandas, we're going to multiply the parentheses first. From there, we'll get x equals negative 8 to the square root of 64 minus 64 over 2. And now once you solve what's inside of the discriminant by subtracting it, you'll be left with 0. Nothing goes into the square root of 0, so you will leave it as is. So now all we have left to do is solve our x-intercepts. Do not discriminate, which is why we're going to have 2. X equals negative 8 plus 0 divided by 2 equals negative 4. Like I said before, since we're not going to discriminate, we're going to also subtract, which is x equals negative 8 minus 0 divided by 2 equals negative 4. That gives us our x-intercepts that go right here. And all we have left to do is find the y-coordinate. And how to find the y-coordinate is why we had to solve for the vertex, because all we have to do is just plug it in. What I mean by that is plug in your vertex into the equation. Since our equation is negative x squared plus 8x plus 16, we have to plug in the negative 4 into those spots with the x, which will give us negative 4 squared plus 8 times negative 4 plus 16, which will equal 0 because negative 4 squared is 16, 8 times negative 4 is negative 32, and then, just 16. 32 minus 32 equals 0. That is your y-coordinate, and all you have left to do is just graph, and the graph will look something like this. And if you do get this, that means you have solved the equation correctly, and it is complete, and that's how it is done.